Hello, hello, crafters. Happy Labor Day in America, in the United States of America, anyway, today. Whether you are joining me from inside the States or outside the States, we welcome all crafters. And I'm Creative Juice by Lonnie, here to share a little bit of paper crafting with you. I've got a fun new sketch that you can use for a piece of 6x6 paper, and we'll be featuring some sneak peeks of some beautiful designer series paper. Here, I'll put that on this side. From our September through December catalog, as well as some September online exclusives from Stampin' Up. So say hello as you are coming to join me. And if you are going to craft live with me, let me tell you what you're going to need, what you will need. Let's see if we can get our picture going as well. All right, you will need a 6x6 piece of paper. So I am using some beautiful Autumn Toile Designer Series paper that will be dropping tomorrow. Hello, Carlene, good to see you here. Since I'm only here once a month, I miss seeing your faces and your names here. So it's great to see you here on Labor Day. I'm using the Autumn Toile Designer Series paper. You can use whichever Designer Series paper you have. This is a 6x6 piece of paper that you will need. So choose any of them. I think I'm going to use this pumpkin one just because I love pumpkins. All things pumpkin spice. And you will also need a card base. I'll move this aside for a moment. It can be any direction, open any direction. I'm using an 8.5 by 5.5 card base. I'm choosing a dark color because I'm going to put this piece on top of it. If you had a dark background, you may want to choose a light color, something that's contrasting with that. Then you will also need a contrasting color, another contrasting color that is 4 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches cardstock. This one I'm choosing because I don't want it to be the same color as my base, but I also want it to, coordinate with the colors on my paper. My sunshine just went behind the cloud. It's a little dark, or can you still see? Let me know. For the inside, if you do choose a dark colored card base, you will need a piece to write on the inside of your card that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, but you can add this later if you need to. So if you're crafting along, this is kind of really all you need right now. And this is kind of perfect for sweater weather, which we can't really say that we are in yet in southern Utah, since today is our last probably 100-degree day. But we're going to be layering pretty soon, and this one is a fun one to do this with. All right, I also chose this fall Autumn Toile Designer Series paper just to remind me to tell you that the next paper pumpkin kit will coordinate with this beautiful paper. So if you love fall, autumn, toile is the, let me see if I can find that piece of Designer Series paper that I just had and put aside. Well, I'll find it. It's basically this kind of repeating pattern that is a detailed line art image. So, here it is. So you'll see, like, this one right here is very toile. That's how you say it. Okay, good. Carlene says she can still see. Thank you, Carlene. And then, of course, these are all double-sided, so you've got these beautiful, more subtle designs. So usually on Stampin' Up! Paper, you're going to have a very busy design on one side and a subtle contrasting side pattern on the other side, which is what we want. Okay, so let me show you how we're going to cut this, and then I will do it. So this, if you want to take a screenshot, or if you want to come back later, this will also be on creativejuicebylonnie.com, so you can kind of see how we're going to cut our 6-inch paper. Our first cut is going to be in 4 7/8 inches. Our second cut, we're going to take this piece that's left over after we've cut off this 4 7/8 inches. We're going to take this piece and cut off at 4.5 inches. This is the only piece we won't be using on our card, but you can save them for a card in the future. And I hope to eventually remember to use this 1.5 by 2.25 inch piece, 2 1/8 inch piece, I think, on some other cards, if I remember that. So then you're going to take that 4.5 inch piece and cut it into 2 strips of 1 16. Don't worry, it's really easy to do, just over 1 inch. And then you're going to take this 4 3/4 or 4 7/8 inch piece and cut it in 2.5 inch pieces, leaving 1 inch. So now that you've seen it, let's show you how to do it, because it's a lot easier than it sounds. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut at 4 7/8. That is like if you have 16 little marks between each of your inches, then it's going to be two away from 5 inches. So that's 4 7/8 inches. Ooh, and I almost did it. Is that right? Hold on. Oh, you guys, I said that wrong. Let me say, I almost did that wrong too. Hold on. I'm fixing it. This should say 3 7/8. Sorry, I was like, no, it should be just under 4. 3 7/8 inches. Oh, people can make mistakes. I'm just glad I didn't do that. I didn't cut before I went. No, that's not right. Okay, so 3 7/8 inches, which is just 2 marks under 4. Okay, then we'll take this piece right here. We're going to cut it into 4.5. Cut it down to 4.5. This is the only piece you may not use. Cut it. Turn it again. And you're going to cut it at one little tick mark, just the very next one over 1 inch. So you've got 2 pieces. I'm actually going to be using the back side of this one. And I'm going to lay it right on here so you can see this is going to go on this piece in a second. Okay, this piece we're just going to turn and do 2.5 and 2.5, and it really doesn't matter which, as long as your pattern is going the same way. So you've got a 2.5, 2.5, and a 1 inch right here. So all of our pieces are cut. Let me show you how this looks. Here we go. Those are all of our pieces that came off of our, okay, that kind of goes like that, I guess. And it doesn't matter which end you cut this one off of, as long as you can kind of see that those are all your pieces. And this is, oh, moving it up. Yes, sorry, so you can see that. There you go. Get myself out of the way. All right, so there you can kind of see how we did this. This little piece is really up here. It doesn't matter which direction you cut it off of, okay? So you've got all of your nice little tiny pieces right here, and we're ready to put them together. Let's take our card base and some adhesive. It's hiding. We're going to put our 2.5 inch pieces onto the front of our contrasting colored card base. And I like to match up the patterns. Now, when you are putting this onto your card, the way to know how much space to leave at the top is by looking at the sides. As you can see, the sides have, like, you know, whatever that measurement is. You're going to just kind of look at those sides and then try to get about the same distance from the top or bottom. And it doesn't matter, you know, the little line in between doesn't matter quite as much. So you've kind of got a window pane kind of cut in the middle here. Window pane style like that. All right. Okay, so the next step, you got those 2 on. Our next step is to take our 2 just over 1 inch strips. We're going to flip it over so that we can use the pattern on the back side for this one. We'll adhere those to our 4 3/4 by 2.5 inch piece of Cajun Craze. By the way, I'm going to show you, when we're done here, some other finished cards with a lot of the other September Designer Series paper, or paper that is being released in September, some online only and some in our mini catalog. I'm going to show you some other samples doing this same thing. Now you could put this on either side. I want to see some of my pumpkins, so I think I'm going to put it on this side. You could put it on that side. Either one is going to be fine. I am going to put this on now with some dimensionals, if I can find my dimensionals. Y'all, you know how this is when you start to make a project and then you cover it all up. I had the dimensionals out here just a minute ago. And then I moved everything. Oh, here they are under my box. Oh, let's get you a sneak peek. Under my box when I moved it closer to me. So here we go. I will probably redo a card like this once I get my August paper pumpkin kit. September paper pumpkin kit, which is called Fall for Twal. And it is, if you are a beginning paper crafter or a paper crafter who just doesn't have a lot of time, a lot of space, you just like to have everything done for you, then you'll love the paper pumpkin. So we've got our pieces all together here, ready to go. Our background is ready. The only thing we need to do now is add a sentiment or a focal point. So I'm going to use Early Espresso, which is the base color of my card. We're going to stamp a sentiment. This one says, I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. Ooh, I need to re-ink that pad. Let's try that a little bit more. See if we can get a little darker. That's better. I'm going to punch it out with a 2 1/4 inch circle punch. I've already punched a 2 3/8 inch circle, so we've got a little border around it. All right. You could add some bling, which I probably will do when I'm done here in a moment. I'm going to put this also on with some dimensionals just so that it gives it, I like having a little bit of visual, layers, dimension. So I'm just going to add my words right here. I would add a little bit of bling to the front of this. I may do that in just a moment, but let's finish the inside. So we can't finish this. We can't write on a really dark paper. So this is where your 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece of paper comes in. And I did it that size. I actually liked having 3/8 of an inch border around a card. Just gives it a really nice look. I think I want that side showing. So we'll put this little strip right here. We don't want to waste any of it. And look at that, it fits perfectly on the bottom. And in fact, there's a coordinating sentiment that goes, this sentiment, by the way, is from a current stamp set called The Right Words. So we have the I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going sentiment. And then this one says, I miss you already. We're just going to put it right down here. Doesn't have to be in the center. So you've got I miss you already. So there is our very fun, simple beginning card. One of the fun things about having a sketch is that you can really play with it a lot. Let me show you. I'm going to move this over here so you can still see it. We're going to make a Halloween version with the Spooky Halloween. Now, this is currently available on my website at creativejuicebylani.com, and it comes individually as a stamp set, or you can buy it with the coordinating paper. And the paper, the Designer Series paper, actually has, so I've already started this one. It has some die cuts that are included in it, which makes the Halloween crafting so easy. And if you need some ideas, I'm actually teaching a virtual class on October 2nd, I believe is the day. All of the details are under my events on Facebook or on creativejuicebylani.com. You can click on events. So you could use these little images and color them, cut them out, or you can just choose one of the images that are already done. So that's what we're going to do here. I have done the same cuts that I just did on the last one, on this one. We're going to put all of these die cuts now onto our background. We're just going to build up a little scene right here. Dimensionals on our potions pot. boil, boil, toil and trouble, whatever that is. Here we go. And finally, all of these are just die cuts, so I didn't even have to stamp. I stamped the words, Happy Halloween. There you go. So there is our second cute little card. On the inside, it already has something on the inside. I could put, I could add right here, don't worry, eat sweets, right inside, and I may do that after we're done. So there's our second card. Now, the toile paper and the other paper that I'm about to show you are all included in my oh yes, what's it called? Let me see if I can remember. My paper share. I'm going to see if I can, yes, I think I can add a link right here. There you go. This is a paper share, and for $23 if you pick it up from me, or if you, and I will also put it in the description of both on YouTube and Facebook, or $29 if you want it shipped to you wherever you are. You can get 53 pieces of the September Designer Series paper that are 6x6, and that's why we're doing this today. So you'll know what to do with that paper if you get them. You'll get a piece of everything that is being released in September. That does not include the Halloween one. However, if you love the Halloween one, order the Halloween suite and join me for my class. Okay, let's look at another one. This one is made with the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. This one is, it can be either Christmas, and it's got beautiful blues, basic beige, cloud cover, misty moonlight, pecan pie, and secret sea. I've used the right words stamp set just to add a little bit. This one I made into a sympathy card. Forever loved, forever remembered. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories, it says on the inside. Really a lovely, elegant card. And you'll see that I moved this panel to the left side. So you have another sample there. This one is also included in the paper share, and then so is this one. This one is just, oh, it's like elegant, modern, glimmery paper. This is called Modern Christmas, and this one I just used the paper and punched out this little design from a second piece of Designer Series paper. I also made it so that it opens this way, but you still get that gold gleam as you open it. Isn't that just lovely? I love the black and white and gold elegant feel of this one, and it says all is calm, all is bright. You can use any sentiment you have. This one's from a new set called A Child is Born. So you don't even have to have the same stamp set to use all of the paper that you would be getting in our Designer Series paper share. Okay, I have two more. This one is, well, this one I'll show you. This was the first one I came up with, and this one is using some retired Designer Series paper called Season of Green and Gold. It also has a little bit of shimmery, and I used some of our new stamp set called Perfect Pear, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's beautiful. And I just loved it so much, I said, yes, this is what we want to do. This one is also not included in the Designer Series paper share, but I wanted to show you how fun you could use this with anything. This one is included. This paper is called North Pole Delivery Specialty Designer Series paper, and it's a specialty paper because it also has some die cuts included in the paper. So you can use that as your focal point and use a punch or a die cut in this case. Now this paper that I chose here was very busy on both sides. It was this piece right here. So we have the animals with the card delivering the cards, and on the other side it has the cards. So when I did this, I had to very carefully choose which colors so that you could see that this was a different design. I don't usually like to put two very busy pieces together, but if you do, make sure that there's high contrast in that. You'll notice on this one I didn't choose two different colors. They're both black for the layers, whereas here I've done Secret Sea and White, Early Espresso and Cajun. This is Garden Green and Poppy Parade. But you can, if you need that contrast to be black and black, that's fine too. So can you see how all this comes from our one card sketch, and yet they're all so beautiful. I may add a little bit of, let's see if we can find some bling right here while you're watching, because you can always add bling to something. Let's find some beautiful. We may just use, this one's actually retired, but it has the right colors on it, I think. Oh, or this one. That one's pretty too. What do you think? I like that. Let's use that one. I don't know if it's still available, but if you're like me, this is called Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. You probably have a lot that are, just sitting around and you need to use them up. So get out your bling and add some to your card. I like to usually add them in triangle. So I've got 1, 2, 3 in a triangle shape here. And then it's got a little shimmer and shine to it. So whether you add ribbon behind your sentiment, or some bling, or some die cuts, or some stamping, or some of your own designer series paper, you've got lots of choices. Isn't that nice? All right, I hope you enjoy that and that you will use the sketch, the map that we've given you, and I'll fix this one so it says 3 7/8 instead of 4 7/8. But all of these cards will be on my website today, creativejuicebylonnie.com. So you can see them. You can order your paper share. The paper share is deadline is today. If I have any left over, I will let you know. But if you want to reserve your own share, make sure you do that today, because I will be ordering tomorrow for cutting up the 6x6 samplers for everyone who has registered for a share. All right. I hope that answers questions. If you have more questions, drop them. We will come back and answer. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back in October, on the first Monday in October, live. Meanwhile, I'm sharing reels and ideas on my Facebook page, on my YouTube, and on my website, creativejuicebylonnie.com. Thanks. Go make something beautiful on this beautiful Labor Day to share with the people you love. We'll see you next time.